Today I'm embarking on a first solo trip in years. My wife is always with me, but this time she's on the team retreat, which was perfect opportunity to take on this solo trip.
I recently left my job and intended to take this trip immediately to reflect and plan for my future away from home. However, I was only able to schedule it a month later. Instead of overthinking the destination, I picked a city I'd never been before. Liège, in French-speaking region of Wallonia, Belgium. The trip was supposed to be quick, 4 hours, but due to severe flooding damaging the train tracks, it took much longer. Yeah, climate change is very real. I had to take a connecting bus crossing the Dutch-Belgium border. I love traveling by train, but I'm not a huge fan of buses. Eventually, after about 5 to 6 hours of jumping back and forth different transportation methods, I finally arrived at Liège train station, Liege-Guillemins.
I don't know much about architecture, but if you watched my video about Valencia, there is a complex of buildings there, which was designed by Spanish architecture Santiago Calatrava. He actually designed this train station as well, and it really shows, and I'm really fascinated when I see these similarities in buildings, and it's really cool to notice them.
Santiago Calatrava created many interesting engineering solutions, but he is primarily famous for his futuristic elements, especially his resemblance to human bones, human body movements in his buildings, which are made of concrete and steel.
As I remember thinking of human ribs when I was looking at City of Arts, I definitely have the same thing here. I don't know, maybe it's not an ideal representation of human body, but there is something to it, like a motion or spine bended, something like this. To be honest, I have no idea what I'm talking about, so don't really listen to me. Just checked into at my hotel, and it's very nice. I wanted something beautiful for my solo trip experience, and it's also pretty central, which is great for wandering around city and exploring it.
The next morning I was excited to explore this city. I started with just walking around the areas where I live. Walking alone is always my best time to think. I walked, had some coffee, walked again, found a quirky Russian store, met some expats living here, learned about something called Russian milk, enjoyed some more coffee and kept walking. Visiting Liège, of course I couldn't miss this famous place. Meet Montagne de Bueren, 374 staircases, which 10 years ago was named one of the most extreme staircases in the world by some New York progressive news website. Apparently not much has happened since, because most websites continue to republish the same information about the extremity of those staircases. Of course, I had to climb the stairs. Okay, maybe I was too early to judge and making fun of this American website. Staircase turned out to be a little bit more challenging than I anticipated. They're really steep. One cool thing I learned about those stairs is Belgian adventurer. His name is Louis-Philippe Lonke, and he actually climbed them 135 times during the pandemic. And this way he was just basically showing that anywhere, even with the closed borders, you can find adventures, even on your own backyard. Whew. I'm sorry, I'm out of breath a little bit. Yeah, of course I decided to repeat his challenge of 135 climbs. And it was very easy to do, especially with the modern video editing magic.
Alright, Louis-Philippe, what's our next goal? Just you and me, pick the challenge. All those adventurous lifestyles got me really hungry now.
Now let's talk about what Liège is really famous for. Waffles. When you think of Belgian waffles, you probably think about Liège waffles.
This is where the originals are made. It's pretty amazing. They never sell them here with toppings. because it's sugary enough. It has little sugary pearls inside, super sweet. I can definitely tell you I tried fries several times in Belgium and I always prefer the Dutch one that made in Netherlands. In Liège I found this place and the fries is really good, really close to what we have in the Netherlands, and the fries is crispy and just very soft inside. It's pretty good. Definitely recommend this place.
After eating such sugary and salty food, I needed a stroll again. I went along the Meuse river towards the old town of Liège. Liège is undergoing a lot of construction, which gives it a rough around the edges feel. It seems they're trying to improve the city and even building completely new tram lines within the city, which is always a plus for any town. The old town is quite small and I couldn't find anything special about it. Its most famous place is St. Paul Cathedral. To be honest, I'm not a big on Gothic churches or any churches in general. After you see a few of them, they all look the same to me. But inside this one, I found a cool and unusual thing. In the middle of the church, there's a group of saints, but a little bit behind the stairs stands Lucifer, the devil himself. You can clearly see all the attributes. Horns, beaten apple symbolizes the scene, claws, and even bat wings. I read that he was actually a replacement for another Lucifer who was here, but the previous one was too beautiful. Church workers thought he had a bad influence on the church youth, so they got him replaced with a less attractive one. After checking the city center, I decided to explore the city outskirts in the pursuit of finding something unusual.
I just wandered to some pretty interesting place. Apparently there's a whole subculture called urban exploration, or even a cooler nickname urbex, and I've never done anything like this, but basically it's people who explore abandoned buildings which are kind of taken back by the nature. Actually, it could be a pretty dangerous experience. I do not recommend anyone doing this. You never know what conditions these buildings are, but here in Liège I have found, and many people say it's pretty safe building, so I decided to explore this a little bit.
This is an abandoned military fort that has become a canvas for ever-changing street art. Nature is also slowly reclaiming it, giving it a Last of Us vibe. It's like stepping into a post-apocalyptic world, eerie and fascinating.
To be completely honest, I wouldn't recommend even this beginner style urban exploration building. Probably some people into it, I definitely not. First, it doesn't really feel safe inside. The building doesn't have any maintenance. It can be basically destroyed at any moment, just a building against the nature. And second, it's just creepy. To be honest, I thought there are gonna be a lot of people inside because there are many reviews on Google Maps, but there's nobody. It's kind of like from the worst horror movies for me. If I ever wanna shoot a horror movie, I definitely know where to go. Just creepy. But there's a park around this building, and it's actually pretty nice. There are people around, walking, dogs, and even with the kids, so it's fine just to walk around a little bit.
After enough sightseeing, I spent the rest of the day wandering the city, lost in thought. I concluded that this city distinctly differs from the Flemish part of Belgium. It has unique vibes that aren't found elsewhere. It feels somewhat French, but with better English speakers. As previously mentioned, the city can feel rough. This is not only due to construction and trucks in the city center, but also the change in the atmosphere during the evening. Some areas may not feel safe or comfortable. Liège actually ranks 7th in the crime index in Europe, which becomes apparent mostly late in the evening and at night. However, during the daytime, it's a perfectly pleasant city for exploring. I would be interested to see how it will develop in the next 3 to 5 years.
And regarding my solo travel experience, I might only say one thing. this sucks, to be honest. I know many people say that solo experience and spending time with yourself help you gather some thoughts, really be comfortable with yourself, and it's all true, but you don't need to travel for that. You can just stay at your place or just walk around your city, rent a hotel in your city if you need to, but it doesn't need to be travel. In terms of traveling, I definitely miss my wife. It's much better to be together, share some thoughts, share experiences, bounce some ideas, and just enjoy it together. But it's just me, maybe. I know that my wife is watching this video, so I just wanted to say I love you, you are my whole world, and I really can't wait to travel together again. I hope you guys like this vlog, and these videos tend to perform a little bit less compared to informational videos. I'm still planning to continue making them because I just really love making travel films, travel videos, doesn't matter, it's a really cool format in my opinion. Check my other travel videos here and here. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and see you in the next video. Doei doei!